Hey Hebrew fans, this is Todd. So today I found one of these. So I'm kind of excited about that because I actually found one of these right here. Now before we get into it and open it, let's go ahead and first talk about the history of these figures. So when we first got these, it came into a 2-pack like this where we got a He-Man and a Skeletor. And these actual figures were based off of the video game. Now he did not come with a battle axe. I actually made that myself. But we were excited about these figures because they had some really cool articulation. Like his head articulated, his shoulders articulated, his wrists articulated, his waist articulated, and he also stood pretty good and didn't fall over very easily. So what's nice about the wrist articulation is if you stick a weapon in his hand, he can then rotate around to block or fight or whatever else you want to do. Now, when the new ones came out, they made the scale a little bit smaller. You can see here the new scale smaller. And of course, they did give us a battle axe for Faker, but since Faker's so much smaller, his battle axe would be puny in He-Man's hand, which is why I had to make my own 3D version of the battle axe. So there you go. All right, so as time went on, these ended up becoming super cheap because people were not wanting to pay the full price that Mattel wanted to sell them at. And so the line got canceled. Now, before it got canceled, they did produce one last set, this She-Ra and Horde Trooper set, which was pretty hard to come by. And I did get a few of them so I could have lots and lots of Horde Troopers. So I wanted to have, you got to have Horde Troopers, right? So they decided to re-release them in these packs right here with some new figures, and I'm like, yes. So I went ahead and got these. Now these are actually labeled on the bottom so you can tell which one you have. And this last letter right here, in this case it says B, should represent Skeletor. So let's take a look and see if Skeletor is inside here or not. So let's just open this up. And it's cool too, it's got a Castle Grayskull box for it. In fact, it's kind of funny is the actual packing is probably worth as much as the figure itself, which I think is kind of funny. I kind of wish they would have made chunks of Grayskull. Like each one of these would be like a puzzle piece. When you put them all together, you would have a giant Castle Grayskull. But then, of course, you would know what figure you're getting before you open it. But technically, you still do by looking at the letter on the back if you know the code of who's who in the zoo. So let's open it up and see if my sources are correct. And sure enough, just like I was told, B is Skeletor, which is nice because now I have the right size Skeletor. Which if I never get a He-Man, it's okay. I can have He-Man be extra large because he's He-Man. All right, so let's take a look. Now what's cool is this is the other side of the castle. I just realized that. It's not the side we always see. It's the other side. One thing that's bad is it has this piece right here that is in the... Hey, Adam. That is inside this part where people are supposed to be able to stand, and they have that chunk that's supposed to open up and be away from it. But, oh well. Cool, cool, cool. Actually, you know what? I think it folds both ways. It does. That's fun. Then you can get two of them and snap them together and make a giant square out of them. So that would be a fun little thing to do with this later on. All right. So, Adam, how's my voice sound? I'm using a different microphone. Let me know if it sounds okay or if it's really hard to understand or hear me. So, let's take a look at Skeletor and see what he includes. Looks like he includes his Havoc staff. I don't see his sword in there. Oh, thanks, Adam. I was kind of worried that it might be hard to hear. I'm having a friend come over later. We're going to do some live drawings in about an hour. And we're going to take requests. So for those of you that are watching, come back in about an hour. And he will draw different superheroes and He-Man figures. And the guy is an awesome artist. He's coming out with a brand new Dragon book. And so we're going to make this video to try to do a last push to get people to sign up for the new book he's working on. So the new figures, which kind of stinks, is they do have some articulation. The arms, the head, and the waist, but the wrist no longer turns. I imagine they did that because they made them smaller, and because of their smaller size, it probably couldn't get an articulation point in there, which means you lose that ability to rotate the wrist to move the weapons different ways to try to, you know, do some other scenes. All right, so let's just do a quick rundown of the figures they've already released. So you can see here we have King He-Man, we got Zodak, we got what is that? Stratos, Faker, we got Moss Man, of course She-Ra. He actually glows in the dark. It's so cool. And we got Beastman. Oh, if they would have made the Beastman figure like this for classics, how cool that would have been. A big old, oh, that'd have been awesome. And we got Clawful. Clawful should have been monstrous too, like that. Oh, I got 2 Beastmen. Look at that. And then Battle Armor, Skeletor. And we also have Battle Armor He-Man somewhere. There he is. And Merman. And I think that's all the ones that were released. Oh, good question. So the question is, how did I know that Skeletor was B? Well, subscribe to my channel, and I will post it in the comments what each letter stands for. And so just look for that. Anyway, my friend is here. I got to go so we can make that another video. I'll talk to you guys in about half an hour. Bye now.